What is up everyone, welcome back for another video on Monmate Master. Today I want to show you the team I'm running in most of the game content, PVE and PVP. There are just a few things that I am changing sometimes to times, and if you want to know the efficiency of Seraphine, by the way, don't worry, stay until the end. I'm gonna try many things in this video so you know about the efficiency of multiple Monmates. And by the way, you have that guy here. Try to replace that guy, it is just impossible. Basically, in my previous video, I showed you a tier list. This is the tier list I showed you that someone shared with me, and inside of it you can find a Tremagon, the best tank you have at the moment in game. You will see the efficiency, by the way, in this video, so stay until the end. You have a Windier, a nice control unit, but I wouldn't place Windier here, to be honest. In my opinion, Windier should be close to Phoenix. You have almost the same efficiency. I'm gonna show that to you, okay? And if I had to place the new units, you should add 2 more rows at the top, because it is way above every other unit you have at the moment in game. This is insane. Probably because you have a skin that is increasing his attack by 20%. Don't worry, I'm gonna try a lot of things in this video, alright? But hey, stop! Right before continuing, guys, did you know that you could have some cashback on every purchase in game? For example, if I want to purchase that pack here, which is the biggest we currently have in the game at the moment, I would need to spend 340 euros and I would receive 71 euros in cashback that I can reuse later to buy other packs for free. If you want to start having some cashback, don't worry, it is super easy. Check the description of all my videos, scroll down, and you will find a link to download the game through the Aptoide store, which is basically the equivalent of the Play Store and the App Store, but they are taking less fees at the end and they are giving you some cashback. Once you have the game, click on the second link to download the Aptoide wallet. This is basically the application you need to start receiving some cashback. Open it, you can see your balance here, the cashback you currently have. Click on a promo code and enter the code MATE. By using that code, you are getting 5% extra cashback, and that's also a way to support my channel, so thank you so much to everyone who is considering using that. But don't forget that this is only a game, so don't spend too much, guys. You are only buying pixels, right? If you have any question about that, feel free to contact me. My ID Discord is in the description of all my videos. Alright, back in here, let me explain to you a few things about that team before entering the battle and showing you the efficiency, okay? So I'm using Tremagon, this is my tank, and basically one of the best tank you have in the game, or probably the best tank. For example, if I go here on the overview, you will see what he is doing. First of all, he has a good tanky stats, and with that passive here, he's getting more rage, damage resistance, and a shield directly when entering the fight. So that is very, very strong. He's more tanky than the others, and he has a big shield. With the active skill here, he can reduce the attack speed of the target, the attack and the rage generation as well, while dealing some damage in AoE. And finally, with the basic attack, he can apply some stack of harden on himself, increasing his physical and elemental damage resistance over time, stacking up multiple times. So this is very, very strong. And if you check the trait here, there is a chance to get 1 harden stack when getting attacked. So one more time, the more he attacks and the more he get attacked, the more the tankiness he has, alright? Very, very strong unit here. Then I'm using Blesoul, a yellow unit, another amazing one. He's not here to deal damage, he's here to tank some damage. Basically, directly at the start of the battle with that passive here, he is jumping on the farthest enemy. Then he becomes invincible and immune to feints. So basically, when he dies, he's not dying for a short period of time, like 4 seconds, it is written here, he's immune to damage. He can't die. So during 4 seconds, basically, no matter the amount of damage he's taking, he is not dying and he's tanking the damage for your team. So you have more time to deal some damage, you can heal your tank, and it is working super well. And then I'm using Gemshine here. That is another great unit because she can reinforce your units and heal them. With the basic attack, every time she's gonna attack, she has a chance to grant 1 harden stack to the ally with the lowest HP percent. So my tank, in fact. So my tank is gonna have more physical and elemental damage resistance. So Tremagon, that is insane. A very good combo. Here, heal allies and grant them 1 harden stack one more time with the active skill, very, very strong. And with the passive skill, basic attack, all my allies will deal more elemental damage when they use some basic attack, so very, very strong too. Then this healer is very nice. With the basic attack, dealing some damage and inflict slow stacks to the opponent. It is working well with Tremagon. I will show that to you. You know what? I'm gonna show that to you directly, because if I go here, I have that on Tremagon. Increases target's elemental damage taken by 1.7% for each of their slow stacks, okay? If you want to unlock some of these, by the way, you need to star up twice a legendary, an ultra rare unit, and you can unlock this one. So this one is on Tremagon, and then you can equip the one you want. Okay, so this is how it works. For example, if I go on this one, this is the one he has. Drops its temperature to ignore physical damage for 2.5 seconds when falling to 30% HP, and he's healing over time and getting more rage. Okay, so star up all your ultra rare twice only, then focus on your main one, so you will unlock that skill later at 15 stars, but you can unlock some of these runes and it helps a lot. For example, you have this one on Phoenix, by the way. Gain a shield equal to 100% plus 290% defense when losing Harden. I'm using Harden one more time, so on that unit, this is even better. He can tank even more damage, okay? So, back on that unit here, the active skill, it rebounds on allies multiple times, and you are healing your allies when using that, and you have a lot of heals when you release that skill with that unit. Heal an allied Monmate when it takes damage totaling 30% of its max HP, and that is passive here. One more time, working very well. And then you have the broken unit here. You release crazy things in battle. Every 2 seconds you inflict aging stack on the highest attack enemy and deal a lot of damage, elemental damage by the way, and you deal crazy things. You just don't have to check anything here. You're crazy, killing everybody in front. I don't know if you can say that, but hey, and by the way, a chance to grant 1 hardened stack to front row allies, so that guy can also help the front tanks to tank more. Alright, so I talk a lot, let's get in battle and let's see how does it work. So for that, I'm going to that mount raid. I struggle to beat the floor 28, but let's see how it works, okay? So I'm gonna explain to you that during the video, during the battle. So let me just slow it down a bit. So the boss is attacking the middle line first. So you can see that he attacked my Tremagon and it triggered the shield. So he's still alive, and then the other unit jumped on the other side, and he is now, Blesoul is tanking all the damage coming from the boss, but for now he is immune to damage, so he just can't die. If I had a bit more heals, that would be even better, so my Tremagon and Blesoul would recover more HP and they would remain alive longer than that. So here my Tremagon could tank 1 more hit because he had a lot of hardened stacks. And now the boss is attacking the line at the bottom, then the middle in priority, and then the upper line, okay? So he's gonna attack my healer here. I could tank 3 attacks. Then he's gonna attack my Gemshine. Oh, and by the way, I have a lot of hardened stacks, and you can see all the damage I can tank with that. So now he's attacking the one in the middle. My main DPS is taking some damage, and I died. Unfortunately, I took too much damage. But the efficiency is absolutely crazy, guys. And look at the damage I have with that Monmate here. You want to see the difference, basically? Let me just change a few things in my team. I'm here to try a lot of things. So instead of this one, I'm gonna use my best damage dealer, which is the Phoenix, okay? Same positioning. Let's get back in here, challenge again. Let's see how much damage I can release with my Phoenix, okay? So same strategy, my heroes are tanking the damage at the beginning, but look at that, I can't even break the shield. So I still have the same tankiness as before, but unfortunately the damage are not the same. I don't think I will break the shield. So I remain a lot alive long during the battle, but look at the damage difference. I had 5 billion damage, with the other I have only 649 million here. The difference is absolutely huge, so if you can get that unit just to try to get it, you have a lot of summons over time, but I'm not sure if you will have enough. Basically on that event, you have a few shops in here, if I remember. No, it doesn't work here, you just can't purchase that through here. But normally you have some summons. Here you can purchase a lot. So if you can spend a bit at least on that event, you can purchase a lot of Mystic Star Core, you can get a lot through that event as well. You can get some through that event, but it's probably not gonna be enough to summon that unit. And you have something more that you need to have. You have the skin here in that battle pass. So this is the only thing where you need to spend in that event. You will have a lot more power if you get that unit at least, and the skin here, because it's increasing by 20% his attack. Alright, so let's try something else. Formation. I'm gonna just, instead of this one... no, by the way, I just want to show that to you before. Just gonna use a Rogue King, which is one of the best tank, after Tremagon here. This one is reflecting some damage to the opponent, so generally if you're using that unit in PvP, you have pretty nice damage, and he can tank a lot as well. So let's get in here and let's see what is happening when you're using 2 tanks instead of Blesoul. So look at that, my Tremagon is already dead. So now he's attacking my second tank. And it is already dead. So now the shield is almost broken on the boss. So I'm gonna start dealing some damage. Get more stacks of Harden on my characters. Receive some heals. My first heal is dead. And that was the result. And basically if I use Blesoul instead, if I retry, I will have more chance to win the fight. Okay? So I'm gonna apply Blesoul again. Where is he? There we go. Now it is time to change the 2 units I have in the middle here. So instead of this one, let's just use Seraphine. And there is something very important that you need to know about Seraphine. This is so fucking bad. I hate that so much. You can't use the other shards, the generic shard, to star her up. You are forced to spend to obtain every single star on that character here. This is so fucking bad. Like, they are monetizing absolutely everything you have in the game, and here you can't use the generic star shard to power up your Seraphine. So the only way to acquire some is to basically spend on that event. And I'm not even sure if she's gonna remain after that, if we can get more shards later. I'm not even sure. Maybe at the end of the event we will be able to convert the shards to get some more duplicate stars on her. I'm not even sure about that, so I hope it is the case, but I'm not sure. Okay, so now I'm using Seraphine in the middle instead of the blue one. Let's see how much heals I am getting and if I'm able to win the fight. She is normally the best healer you have in the game, but she can't apply slow stacks on the target, so I'm getting less effects with my Monmates normally during the battle. And as you can see here, my Tremagon is already dead, so he died earlier than before. Seraphine is already dead, Gemshine is dead, and look at the difference. There is no match at all. So if I go back here, gonna change something else. I'm gonna remove Genshin and instead I'm using her again. So let's reuse that. Let's go back in battle here and let's see how it is working. So for now, Tremagon is still alive, but I need to receive some heals if I want to maintain him alive. But the fact is that without Gemshine, he's not gonna get the same amount of Hardens. And so he dies faster. I had pretty good damage so far, so maybe I will win that. Seraphine is still alive for now. She's dead. Oh, I'm about to win that. And I was able to win that. Alright, very, very nice. So this is another great team combination. But you have almost the same efficiency when you're replacing her by Gemshine, in fact. And this is pretty cool to use Gemshine because she is a nurse type unit, so you can put her in your team. You will have the bonuses here, alright? So this is basically the strategy I'm using mostly everywhere, and in PvP I'm just not using that guy, I'm using Rocking instead. He can reflect a lot of the damage taken, so it is working very well. And in PvP, generally I'm switching her and I'm using Seraphine instead. The result is just a bit different, okay? So right before the end, if you want to know exactly how it works in PvP, and by the way, I'm just gonna re-equip the skin I was using before. I'm going in PvP, I got a bit more power than someone else. That guy here. Yeah, I got a lot more power, but he has a pretty good team. Let's see. And he has the mount, by the way. I'm not sure if he has the artifact. So let's see how it goes, basically. Just gonna skip the fight so you can see the final result. So this is the HP remaining when I'm using Seraphine in the team, okay? So this is the detail. The damage I was able to tank to deal with the Tremagon and with the Rocking here. Pretty good damage, but I was able to tank twice the damage with that guy here. This is the best tank you currently have in the game. And you can acquire him for free, just need to save your summons and summon for him. So this is gonna be very, very nice, okay? So this is the result at the moment, and look at how much damage I can inflict with that unit here. This is absolutely insane. And look at the difference between Phoenix and that guy here. As I told you, this is insane. Okay, let's try to change a few things in my formation here. Instead of Gemshine, let's try to use that unit. So let's see how it goes versus the same guy. Gonna skip directly. And that is the HP remaining at the end. So I have a bit more efficiency with that team. I'm receiving a lot of heals, as you can see here. She heals almost the same as Seraphine here. So it is working well, and I have the same score on the others. Very, very strong as well. So this is the best formation I had. Then I tried to replace one healer and to use that unit instead, so I can apply some slow stacks on the opponent and I will have a better efficiency. Let's see how it goes. Versus the same player here. So I'm using a water team, okay? So let's accelerate that, and this is the final result. It is working almost the same, but this is an ultra rare unit. You have pretty good damage here, but you have less heals on your Monmates, and so it is not working better. So you are not forced to have that unit here. I have the same damage with the Phoenix, by the way. There are some Monmates that are new on my account. The Speak Queen, the Ghost Drake, and this one. So I need to continue trying to use them. To see what is happening when I'm using them, by the way. So let's apply that unit as well. And now it is time to change my tanks and check the efficiency of some others. For that... No, I'm not even sure if I need to change that. They are just the best tanks you have in the game. So this is the best thing I found. You have Paniki. Let's replace Rocking and use Paniki instead, because this is a water team that I am using. So let's see the difference with when I am using that unit here in the same battle. The result will be different normally. So if I skip the fight, you can see that at the time I almost died. Because that unit is just less efficient, in fact. Look at the damage. It doesn't reflect damage, so it doesn't inflict a lot to the opponent. It can tank more, okay? But it deals less damage, so the final result is not the same. And what if I replace Tremagon? I'm pretty sure that I am dying if I'm not using Tremagon. So let's say that I am using these two units here. Let's go back in battle. Duel. And this is the final result. Okay, I survived. Wasn't expecting that. So you can see the damage difference. Like, Rocking is a very good tank here. So this is the result. I can tank more better when I'm using Tremagon, and Tremagon is dealing more damage than this unit, so you know exactly what are the best units to use now. Oh wait, and I just figured out that I forgot to show that in PvP as well. When you are using Blesoul, it is working almost the same. So basically, I'm gonna just run 2 more tries, 2 more tests in PvP versus the same guy. So I'm losing some power, so now I'm closer to his power, but basically this is what is happening when I'm using Blesoul here. He's doing exactly the same as in PvE. He's jumping on the other side, and now you can see that he's taking the aggro from some enemies, and he's gonna lose some HP and become immune to damage. Okay, so if I skip the battle, this is the result. It is a bit worse. Then I suppose that it's because of the placement. If I put that unit here, maybe it's gonna remain at the bottom and tank the damage coming from the other big unit in front. Let's just try that to see if it is the case. He's gonna jump. Okay, he's right here, so he's tanking the damage coming from Phoenix, I guess? No, coming from that guy. But he's using some AoE attacks, and so it is still hitting my heroes. So if I accelerate the time now, it was the worst, and I died. So this is not the best thing to use. And what if I put that character here? Is it gonna change anything? So this is the last try I'm gonna do. Let's see what it does, okay? Zyark, duel. Let's see where he jumps. And now he is on Phoenix, okay? So he's tanking the damage coming from Phoenix, which is great because it is a pretty nice damage dealer. And so if I accelerate the time, that was a bit better than before, but one more time, this is not the most optimal thing. So, just gonna do a recap. Okay, so you know about it. This is the best team I have at the moment in PvP. If you want to know why, by the way, I'm using that class. For now, I have only the level 1 on my skills. Just on this one, I'm getting some leech on my characters, on my monmates, so they can heal themselves. But this deals a lot of damage on single targets, so this is great for most of the content, because for now, I just don't have enough things to promote my class. So I am not using special effects on the skills, and I have more damage when I'm using that class for now. But later, probably it's gonna be different. So this is the best team I can use in PvP. If you don't have Seraphine, you can replace her by Gemshine here. It is gonna work very well. And for PvE, I am not using... I can use that team, you have a pretty good efficiency, but depending on the content, if you are facing a boss, it is better to replace that unit by Blesoul. You will have a better efficiency when you're using that, okay? So guys, that was Actar. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. If you are using a different team, if it is working better, let me know as well. So I'm gonna update my video later. Have a great day, guys. That was Actar. See you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.